Sorry, we get interrupted. Where were we?
I think we were talking about um, globalization and how it can, and how Yemen is using globalization to make their country a better place.
That was a great question. So Yemen,
So they can use globalization for like to trade. I mean, does Yemen just not have a lot of materials to trade, so that's why there's poverty levels?
so Yemen's biggest um, thing that they do trade, or one of their biggest exports that they get a lot of money from, is oil.
Yemen
They're
has oil.
yeah.
Okay.
So they were the ninth leading producer of oil in what do you call that? In the Middle East. And on one of my the Google Earth videos, let's see if we can find it real quick. There was a graph actually of there's some statistics about Yemen and its oil and on globalization. Do, 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 do. Okay. Yeah, there used to be a graph somewhere, but so they've actually been their production has been lowering a lot. In around 2005, 2006, they were producing about 350 to 400,000 barrels of oil a day, but now they're down to like 200,000 ish. Um,
Hmm.
and before they were using a little less, so they were making pretty big profits on that. But now that it's the amount that they're producing now, and the amount that they're using, the difference is really small. So
Okay. Is that probably like the biggest thing that Yemen has to offer in the trade is oil? Would you say?
yeah,
Okay. So that's lowering. It's not good for the economy at all.
not good for the economy. They're trying to entice foreign investment to come into the country. Um, and with the new Democratic government and their new president being elected, I don't remember the name, President so and so.
They don't have a
Um,
democracy, do they?
Actually, democracy was just introduced after 33 years of authoritarian government.
Okay. Good.
Um, they think with their new government that with the Democratic government, they'll be able to make 500,000 barrels while they produce 100,000.
Because in different governments?
Because I'm guessing better cooperation, less corruption. There's a lot of corruption that goes on
So it's not
in the
that there's less
government with that.
oil, it's just the government is doing
It's a
something
good
different.
question. Yeah, better organization maybe, better, laws. I don't know. Good question.
Yeah.
They didn't really say why in the article why there would be more production. They just thought there
Yeah.
would be.
That kind of goes into like the Millennial Development Goals, I think, because like a different government might make a difference in oil, but um, but I like on the website I saw like how most of their goals were not likely, like they won't reach them by 2015. One of my questions was like, um, why aren't they reaching those goals? I mean, they had them. There must have been a plan to reach it.
Yeah.
Then what makes people not do it? Like what changes? I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking about.
No, that's a good question. So I think part of the reason um, why I think if I recall Yemen, they were kind of like right now they're dealing with problems, internal problems with like Al Qaeda. So Al Qaeda, the Yemen actually, the government has taken back three cities in southern Yemen from Al Qaeda. Like they've driven the Al Qaeda forces out.
Mm.
But there's a lot of like fighting going on. There's been a lot of like civil war type stuff from the rebels trying to get the old like dictator dude out of government. I don't remember his name either. Um, so I think it was about 2 or 4 years ago where it really like declined, and you can see like it also declined in the oil production at the same time. Because of that, they got really behind in their and their goals, like their goals for maternal health and child mortality, those decline, and like that focus on building better infrastructure and getting that aid and help in those type of goals, it kind of just didn't end up happening. So
Yeah.
it's unlikely that they'll make it happen by 2015.
Yeah. Sad day. Sad day. So, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
What direction would you have the next U.S. president take on global development for the U.S.?
Concerning how they interact with Yemen,
Sure. On global development.
sure. Oh, that's
What would have the
interesting.
next U.S. president
Okay.
take?
Um,
Because we're not just out to help the U.S., we're out to like help the world.
yeah. I guess like worldwide.
Maybe like something with water. How can the president make clean water more available to people?
There's a lot of, I know there's some private enterprises that have created things like that. It's actually really cool, like little water purifier that this guy came up with. It's like a 50 to 100 bucks, but it can purify a ton of water. Just like each thing, and it would help the people like in developing countries.
But they don't have $50 to $100.
No, and so I think he gave this presentation. He lobbied for people, countries to support it to help, all nations, and that's something the U.S. president could do for global development. I think the the countries that are developing right now are the ones that are going to be kind of in the hot seat in the coming years. The ones that are already developed and are stagnant are the ones that will be declining in the coming years. So it'd be important for the U.S. president to make trade relations with those developing countries. So in our time of need, in our time of need,
They can help us.
Because the U.S. has good soil, so we'll always be able to produce food.
Right. That's questions.
That's the other question.
One more question, or things that I would make different. Like if I was in charge, I would like improve the soil out there somehow, so that they could help themselves with poverty. But I didn't really know like the conditions that Yemen is in, like desert. Like I
Yeah.
don't know how that is. And one of their goals is like to decrease deforestation or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I took that as they want to like decrease the numbers of trees they cut down.
Yeah.
Right? Like I thought, well, if you do that, that'd be just fine because you could use maybe that soil for like what's it called? Farming. I don't know. I was thinking like how is their forest actually helping them?
It's a good thought.
I don't know. That's something I would change.
I remember looking and 1% of their land is forest. So it's tropical forest.
So like swamp.
It didn't look like swamp. I think more like like Colombia or like some Central American countries where it's like mango growing forest.
Oh, okay.
I think, but it's a little different because it's drier. Like if you look here, it's pulled this up on Google Maps. Well, it's kind of nice into the circle. Oh, so this circle right here, these are the mountains, like main mountains.
Oh, okay, I see that.
In Yemen, there's like a lot of desert around here, and there's some like kind of hills, not grasslands, but it's like just a mountain. It's like hilly, not high mountains, but it's rugged terrain. A lot of it, a lot of sand up here, as you can see. Have you ever like seen pictures of Yemen before?
On the website.
No, is it a place that you want to go?
Definitely a different culture. It would be like a culture shock for me. Um,
Okay.
um, I don't know. I think if anyone sees poverty at such a huge level, it's a really big shock to them no matter what. And it'll be kind of like a scary thing. I don't know. I've never really seen huge poverty levels face to face, you know. I've seen like people on the street and like homeless signs, but
Homeless what?
homeless people.
Okay.
So, you know, I've seen. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to go. I wouldn't be able to speak the language at all.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, couldn't even like speak Spanglish to them.
Sure.
So tell me a little bit about development dollar.
Development dollar.
I looked it up online and I couldn't find anything.
Well, the development dollar is not something that like is online.
That's what I thought. I could like find it.
But our teacher Brother Wilson, he gives the dollar at the very beginning of the
A dollar?
semester. Yeah, a dollar.
Like, gave you all $1?
He gave us all a dollar.
From the school, I bet.
I think it was for everybody. But it was this dollar was so we got adopted into our country, and then we were challenged to figure out how we could use this dollar. Oh, that's neat. Sorry, random interruption. He challenged us to figure out how we could use this dollar to benefit us, benefit the country that we're adopting at the same time. Whether it's
That you're adopted into?
yeah,
Explain
or my arranged marriage, as it's on my website. Um, we I think he adopted us in the country or had us adopted in the country so that we'd be able to relate better and feel like we're just like part of that country, you know, like we should be concerned about its interests, you know, just like in our families, like from the global to the local dialectic. Dialectic, the global, and the local.
What does dialectic mean?
I forgot. But I know what that phrase means. Take something, you know, far away or like on a global scale and apply it to us. You know.
Like us as in like at BYU Idaho students?
Yeah, here, wherever we're at.
Wow, that'd be kind of cool. Try that.
So,
Like take a global problem and the way they solved it and like take it into our own lives if we have that same problem.
yeah,
Use that same solution.
you can talk about problems, solutions. You can talk about issues too, or confusion or perceptions. To do an example of that. So it's interesting that this kind of weird subject, but like when I was researching on AIDS, there's this video on when I was looking up on AIDS, I found out that Yemeni women are becoming prostitutes more because because there's like over 40% living underneath the poverty line.
And that's how they have to pay.
That's how they
Get money.
get money. Excuse me. So they don't think it hurts them like in the sense of getting diseases because they think that
they're
AIDS,
living.
they think that AIDS and things you could they think that AIDS and things like that come from Westerners, sleeping with Westerners. They think it would sleep with just men. It's okay.
Oh,
Like
it's not.
No,
but they think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they get sick and die.
Even if they, I don't know, they haven't been aware of it really. it's gonna stop now. Oh, it's still recording.